Hey everyone, it's Angus here, and welcome to another episode. This is a monthly update series where we take a look at the progress on my game, Sunset Witch X. These are the updates for August 2018, and I figure we'll get right onto it. Roll the footage. I decided to redo the intro stage. The stage starts out with you losing your broom. It's here that you learn to move, jump, and shoot. When you're inside, you get your broom back, and you're given some space and time to get used to flying. Once you head up and shoot your way out, the screen starts to move and you're given some enemies to defeat. You may have noticed that the tiles are properly designed now. It takes a bit of time to design tiles, but it's really fun to see the end result. It's always best to do this when you're nearly finished with a level, as by then you'll know what theme to go with. As you reach the end of the level, you start to see the entrance of a cave, and then fight a mini-boss. When you defeat the mini-boss, you then go inside the cave. And now you're in the second part of the intro stage. The first part tells you how to move and shoot, but this part will teach you about puzzle solving and how to rotate. I believe this will feel like a fun stage while also being a good tutorial stage. A stage that doesn't hold your hand but still prepares you for the rest of the game. If you've seen the previous videos, you may recognise the stage from before, only now it has a completely different coat of paint to it. I'm personally really proud of the tile set in this stage. Around here is where the stage would originally end, but now you emerge outside the cave into a more familiar area. At this point here, the level will end with a stage boss. I have plans for a boss that will put what you learnt so far to the test. It's yet to be implemented, but I've got a pretty solid idea so far, but you'll have to wait a later day to see it. On top of redoing the intro stage, I've also been working on some new stages. They're still early in development, so they don't have the same graphical flair as the previous ones you've seen. First off, there's a platforming vertical stage that takes place in a well. There are new animations for when she's platforming. There are animations for running, jumping, and shooting. Also, you still have to rotate like you would in any other section of the game, so your animations are different if you've turned the other way. During your descent, you come across bombs that destroy part of the wall, and there are these guys that destroy the floor that you stand on. Because you're platforming, it's a bit more tense than it would be when you're flying. For instance, if they destroy the floor and you go down, it leads to one path, but if you keep your balance and destroy the robot, the door will open leading you to another path. In this month of development, I didn't make many new obstacles, objects or enemies. Instead, I was working with objects I previously made to see what kind of uses I could get out of them. For instance, these are enemies you've seen before, but now they're presented in a new context. You have to go down at the right time and be patient, otherwise you get hit by their bullets. And here I'm using a bunch of obstacles from previous months, only a completely new context. You want to head down, but you gotta open a door first, but when you open the door, it closes up this little gap. So to get back out, you gotta defeat the robot, but you're only given the left side of the screen to defeat it. Once it's destroyed, you can finally head down to the next area. I feel areas like this will really add to the feel of the levels. The stage ends with a bunch of missiles, switch doors, and a skull key that protects you from the missiles. There are also some experimental platforming stages. In this area there are breakable bits of coral. You have to break them to make your way up. To get to the main goal is easy, but if you want to go through the secret route there's a bit more risk to it. Platforms here don't regenerate, so you've got to be careful which ones you destroy. But if you make it up the secret route you'll be rewarded with something. Well, at the moment it's just a skull key, but I might put something there later. Here are some other experimental areas. Take a look and have a listen. You also notice that when you die you actually reset in the same room, or at least close by. It's a little hard to pull off, but I managed to find a way. I'm also leaning towards a death counter rather than a lives counter. I might put a no death achievement in some levels, but that's yet to be seen. And as always, I have a few pieces of concept art to show. Most of these are for the backgrounds or for finding the mood of certain levels. But that's the majority of progress for this month. Now you may recall in the first devlog I originally intended to finish the game around the end of summer. Well, since then the project has grown to be a bit more ambitious, so I feel it makes sense to give myself more time to really work on it. I don't know precisely when it will be done, but for now I'll say I'm giving myself a realistic amount of time to work on it, and when I think it's nearing completion I'll let you know. But also, if you saw that previous video, you may be wondering, just where the hell is Valve Kid? Well, I'll be honest, I haven't done any work on the game since that video. It was mostly so I could focus on Sunset Witch. Valve Kid will get his time in the spotlight eventually, but for now you'll just have to wait a bit longer for that one. But back to Sunset Witch. I feel that things are still going well for this game, so my goal for next month is just to keep at it. I was hoping to have a playable demo out at some point, but I think I'm going to have to push that back a bit too. I'm going to wait until the game feels a bit more finished before releasing a demo. But hey, thanks for watching. If you want to stay updated on the game's progress, be sure to follow me on itch.io. That's where I'm hoping to post the game when it's finally complete. I also post concept art and sneak peeks on my Twitter and Instagram, so if you're interested be sure to follow me on there too. But that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take care.